How bad is the coronavirus? Is it really spreading as fast as everyone is saying? How can I protect myself? Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Moorcroft, and as an expert in the treatment of chronic infectious diseases, I'm getting asked tons of questions about this new coronavirus, and I thought it'd be helpful to share them with you. Keep in mind, the situation with the coronavirus is rapidly changing, so check back frequently for updates. So here we go. Answers to your most pressing coronavirus questions. So is the coronavirus really spreading? As of this morning, the CDC announced that the numbers of the cases of corona in the United States totaled 647 with 25 deaths. All of this as the worldwide cases of the novel coronavirus approach 114,000 with over 4,000 deaths. So, if we look at what's been going on, we'll see a trajectory in the increased number of cases of the coronavirus that kind of looks like an exponential curve. So why are we seeing such a sharp rise in the number of cases in the US? Well, there's likely three main reasons. The first one, the virus is actually spreading, and the number of cases is truly increasing. The second one is that we have more access to testing so that we're able to more accurately count the positive results. And then the third one is there's a lot more awareness and more people are recognizing that they're sick and they're presenting for testing. So it's my sense that all three of these things are contributing to the increase. And in a sense, as more tests are available this week, we will likely see somewhat of an artificial bump in those numbers as we have the ability to actually test more patients who have mild disease that previously weren't even tested. In other words, over the last couple of weeks, we didn't have enough test kits to check everybody who needed to, so the testing was saved only for the most severely ill. Now we're starting to have the ability to test even more people. To put it into perspective, all these numbers, there are well over 30 million cases of seasonal influenza and already over 17 million deaths. So how bad really is the coronavirus? Well, compared to the seasonal flu, it's pretty bad. The average mortality rate for the seasonal flu is around 0.1%. Current estimates for COVID-19, the respiratory disease caused by the novel coronavirus, are between 1 and 3.5%. Currently, the global mortality rates are actually about 3.5%. This number is actually probably going to go down a bit as we start to count more of those milder cases due to the increased awareness and availability of testing. If we look at the Diamond Princess cruise ship, because it was this isolated group of people who could be evaluated and tested, we found that their mortality rate was really around 1%. Now that's much lower than the average current global statistic of 3.5%. So hopefully we're going to get, that's really going to be what it turns out to be in the long run. A little close to that. But if you think about it, it's still 10 times more than the seasonal flu. What are the symptoms of COVID-19? So most commonly we're talking about fever, cough, and shortness of breath. And unlike the seasonal flu, which tends to have this rapid onset, some doctors on the West Coast who have a lot of experience with COVID-19 are reporting that many patients felt body aches, malaise, that feeling of just not right and feeling a bit off, and had some low-grade fevers for up to a week before they developed the more common symptoms of fever, cough, and shortness of breath. And in medicine, we call this a prodrome. And this hasn't really been talked about this much, but there is possibility of having a prodrome with coronavirus. Now, once patients develop difficulty breathing, they can rapidly develop pneumonia or pneumonitis, just read bad lung problems. And particularly, the people who are at most risk have pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, lung disease, diabetes, or heart disease. So how long do the COVID-19 symptoms last? Well, in most mild cases, people are going to get better within a couple of weeks. In the more severe cases, it can last, 3, even 6 weeks, and COVID-19 has been known to lead to death. In fact, over 4,000 cases worldwide. Another question I get all the time is there a vaccine for the novel coronavirus? Currently, there is no vaccine available for the coronavirus. It's being worked on. However, realistically, it's going to take more than a year to come to market. And even if that works, that's going to be exceptionally fast. One of the other questions we get about immunity is, once you get the coronavirus, are you immune to future infections? And while this isn't totally clear, there are unfortunately some cases being reported of reinfection. This doesn't seem widespread, but it is concerning that having an infection this year might not even give you immunity to getting it again in the same season. So, are there any treatments for this novel coronavirus? Currently, nope. There are literally no medicines that have been approved for the treatment of COVID-19. And I just laugh because unfortunately there's so much that we don't know about this, and we were kind of caught off guard. So the good news is there is an intravenous antiviral that was originally developed to treat Ebola. And while it wasn't effective for Ebola, it has shown promise in early clinical use in the most severely ill patients who are hospitalized. And they've been able to receive this drug under what's called compassionate use exemptions. So there are a lot of plans for further studies of this drug around the world, including in the United States, but that too will take some time. So what should I do if I think I have the coronavirus? Probably the most important question I get asked. And so unless you have moderate to severe difficulty breathing, in which case you should call the emergency department and the ambulance, 911, the most important thing to do is stay home. Stay home and call your doctor. Now, depending upon your symptoms, you may be recommended to stay at home and self-quarantine, or potentially go to a designated testing area. Staying out of the doctor's office, the urgent care, or the emergency room will minimize the risk to others if you in fact have the coronavirus. Many hospital systems and doctors' offices are setting up what they're calling drive-through test sites. I've heard of this happening in Vermont, Washington State, and right here in Connecticut. They're modeling this after what they've done in South Korea, which has been very effective. Doctors are doing their best to provide you with the best care possible while also protecting others, including other healthcare workers. So with the rapid spread of the coronavirus, medical systems are endangered of being overwhelmed and inadvertently increasing the spread of the virus. So do everybody a favor and call ahead. So what are your other coronavirus questions? If you please just drop them in the links below. I'll look at them and we'll potentially include them in our next coronavirus video. Some of the questions I get very commonly asked are about herbs. And if you're interested in any herbs and any supplements that could help boost your immune system, then just head over to originsofhealth.com/coronavirus and check out the coronavirus COVID-19 update. Check the second half of that article, and it'll tell you all kinds of different things you can do to boost your immune system. If you're looking to get my top 5 tips on how to naturally boost your immune system and my top 3 tips for avoiding getting the coronavirus, head over to that same page and download my coronavirus cheat sheet. It's a guide to everything you need to know about the coronavirus to start taking action right now. I'm telling people we need to be proactive and not panicked. A lot of this is changing all the time, and new news is coming out, almost every couple of minutes, it seems like, but really every day we have a new understanding. But what hasn't changed is how our body reacts to these viruses and the way that we stop the spread of viruses like coronavirus, which is a respiratory droplet thing. So the big things you need to remember are to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water frequently. If that's not available, use an alcohol-based sanitizer, hand cream, and make sure it's got at least 60% alcohol. Then if people are sick around you, you want to steer clear of them because it's people coughing and sneezing on each other, which is how we're spreading this. And the other thing is, don't touch your face with unwashed hands. A lot of these respiratory droplets are getting on doorknobs and keyboards and desktops and things like that, and we're just putting them in our eyes. So there are a couple of the things to be looking out for. For a ton more information, like I said, head over to originsofhealth.com/coronavirus, or just go to the home page and click on the coronavirus nav bar. I hope this is really helpful for you, and really, if this was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe so that you can keep up with all the content that I'm going to be putting out to help you through all this. For the most up-to-date information, head over to our coronavirus page. Again, originsofhealth.com/coronavirus. Thanks so much for watching. It's Dr. Tom. I wish you all the best through this crazy time, and together we're all going to get through it. Be proactive and not panicked.